Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monkey in the Morning. I'm your host, the Ranting Monkey, and holy shit, is it cold outside? Um, yeah, with wind chills, we're at like minus 20 here, and it's just not a good place to be. So if you're in the Midwest, make sure you're staying inside. Make sure you're staying warm because it's gonna be a nasty one today. Hi guys, hope you're well. I know I said I was gonna take the night off, and technically I did. It's actually morning time. But Jesus, could not sleep. I went in there to bed, laid down, watched several hours of South Park, woke up Lady Monkey, um, who then took far too long to fall back asleep, and finally fell asleep and woke up with a horrible piercing pain in my ear. So here we are, guys. I came to hang out with you guys instead. Who needs sleep, right? That's all right. There's stuff to talk about, and when there's stuff to talk about, I prefer to talk about it than sleep any damn way. Um, several weird things happened yesterday, or at least came to my attention yesterday. Um, the we had the what's his name, Smollett, Jussie Smollett from Empire. He got attacked apparently. Um, and then we had a really weird video that came out of England. Tailed, what are you up to, man? Can you come hang out? I want to ask you about this. There was a really weird anti-terrorism video that came out of England, and we will be talking about that. That's what the name of the stream is all about. We also had Elizabeth Warren attacking Michael Bloomberg because he just doesn't want to pay more taxes, that bastard. Judge, I didn't say I was taking a few days off. I said I was taking the night off, and I did plan to, but I'm awake now, and I can't do much else right now. My body's not ready to go. So talking is what I do best. Sadly, that's a sad thing to say. Talking is what I do best. Feel bad for Lady Monkey, don't you? Thank you, Chicago Mike. Good morning, Monkey. Hope you're staying warm. You too, sir. Especially, I remember that you used to be called Chicago Mike because of how you talk. Are you still in Chicago? Or are you back in Chicago? If you are, stay warm. It's cold as fuck out there. So let's talk about that first. Let's go ahead and talk about Jussie. How do you say that? Jussie. Is it Jesse or why can't people just use real names, regular names? You shouldn't have to guess what the hell a name means. Thank you, Hawkdus Maximus. My work got canceled because the power is out, so I can actually catch this. Also, I hope Smollett is okay. That was messed up. Well, if it's true, it was messed up, and that's my problem here. Witness statements are always. I did drop you the link there, Tailed. Without Dax here, I have to do it myself, so it took me a second. When you're attacked like something like that, it can be hard to remember everything, but the details that have come out are they're just kind of weird. For those of you who missed it, it was all over the Twitter machine for most of the day yesterday. Jussie Smollett, star of Empire, attacked in what police call a possible hate crime. By the way, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, she took offense to this headline. Not a possible hate crime. It is definitely a hate crime. No, it's not definitely a hate crime, sweetheart. It's not even necessarily a crime. We don't know what happened is the problem. We have his word for it, and his word doesn't make a lot of sense. Because here's what happened. Supposedly, Jussie here goes out at about 2 o'clock in the morning to get Subway, like you do. And as he was leaving, heading home, walking at 2 o'clock in the morning in Chicago on one of the coldest nights of the year, two people approached him, yelling racial and homophobic slurs, beat him up a little bit, threw an unknown chemical substance at him, and then wrapped a rope around his neck. And then just took off. Just took off. They weren't chased off. He didn't fight them off. They just took off. So apparently all they wanted to do was beat up somebody and hope they were black and gay when they found them. because they brought a chemical with them, and they brought rope with them. By the way, it's the first I've seen is a thin light rope was still around his neck when officers arrived. Because what Jesse did is he went to a friend's house, his manager's house apparently, and that's where they called the police. Now, I'm not suggesting this is made up. I'm suggesting that the story doesn't make sense as it's being told. Do you guys remember how cold it was last night? In Chicago around 2 o'clock in the morning, it was something like 10 degrees below zero with the wind chill. And you have just these two. Oh, and we forgot the best part. As they were beating him at the end there, one of them yelled, "This is MAGA country." In Chicago. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But yeah, they supposedly stopped beating him. I guess the rope was that was all they were trying to really do, was get a rope on him. Chicago Mike, thank you. Monkey, officially, I am in a town outside of Chicago. Ah, yeah, when I say I lived in Chicago, I actually lived in Glenview. I've been to the city proper many times, but yeah, I was in Glenview when Dad was in the recruitment center there in the Great Lakes. MAGA equal make all gays afraid. Well, here's the problem. Unless they knew it was him, how would that even apply? They just happened to find a black gay guy, a famous one at that. Did Smollett use Gillette? I don't know. Look, I don't think it's cool that anything happened to him if it did. But here it is. Smollett, who is black and publicly came out as gay in 2015, was walking on a downtown street when two people approached him and yelled slurs, according to a statement from the Chicago Police Department. The attackers then began hitting Smollett in the face and poured an unknown chemical substance on him. One of the attackers also wrapped a rope around Smollett's neck before the duo fled. What part of that makes sense? Pincalo, thank you so much. Going to be -21 all day, and this is some bullshit. Yeah. And Hawkidus Maximus, my understanding is that Smollett never declared the race or the MAGA thing. I dug a bit, and I have no idea where that started. There was somebody on Twitter, and I wish I could tell you who it was, who was looking into this, and they said they actually got different reports from police. One police department that they talked to said that there had been no MAGA mention, and the other one said there had been. So I don't know. None of it makes sense right now. Everybody's sure that there was some serious, well, not everybody. Liberals are all quite convinced that there was a hate crime here. Alexandria Cortez, not possible. It is a hate crime. Yeah, if it happened, okay, it's a hate crime. But
is hate crime a thing in America? Also, yeah.
Hi, how you doing, Taylor?
I'm not too bad. Just speaking of hate crime, I was at the hate crime consultation in Glasgow yesterday, and I'm just writing up my script about.
Oh, that. Cool. I hope you'll give us a sneak peek.
Yeah, sure. If you want to keep talking about this Smollett guy first of all.
Sure. And to answer your question, we do have hate crimes here. We don't have hate speech.
Yeah.
Two different things. Well, I've never liked the idea of hate crimes anyway, because it's South Park said it best. It's fucking stupid. Is it really worse to kill somebody because you don't like black people than it is to just kill them because you don't like people? It's still that person is dead either way.
Yeah, that was kind of what I brought up. I was like, why does that change, the nature of the crime? What does their intent actually have to do with it? Are you less likely to hate, a person of a certain religion or racial group because you got an extended sentence or something for abusing them, or well, not in America obviously, but here, if you vandalize somebody's property, if you do it while saying a racial slur, how does that actually make the vandalism any worse? Are you likely to reform that person by saying, well, because you said a bad word while throwing a stone through somebody's window, you're going to get an extra 2 years on your jail sentence or whatever?
Well, that's the thing. And yeah, Pincalo gave the South Park thing was actually hate crime laws, a savage hypocrisy. And they point out in there, and again, I can't believe I have to point to South Park and you fucking people can't get it. They say in there, you know, if a man kills a man because he slept with his wife, isn't that hate? Like, well, yeah, it is.
Yeah, well, why are we not allowed to hate people?
Well, the other thing, I mean, here in the U.S., we don't have hate speech, but our hate crime laws are based on speech. If you beat up somebody and you call them a honky or the other words we're not allowed to say on the air, then that can be a hate crime because you said those words while you did it. As long as you keep your mouth shut and they can't prove that it had anything to do with race, then you're okay.
Well, it's now a good time just to that's very pertinent. Something that was said yesterday.
Sure. Let me get this real quick. Hoctus Maximus. God damn it! I keep messing up your name, and I am so sorry. Most crimes are hate based, one way or another. Yeah, they're either hate or financially motivated. Those are your two. What were you gonna say? Go ahead.
Yeah. So right. I was asking somebody at the consultation, kind of near the end, how do you prove prejudice unless somebody was saying, you know, a racial slur or a religious slur or whatever while doing the crime? And so I asked, do they need corroborating evidence? You know, if the victim of a crime, so say it was assault or whatever, if they perceive it to have been motivated by prejudice, how does the court or whoever actually prove that? And so I was hoping that they'd say, oh well, I'll say hoping. I'll get to that in a minute. I was hoping that they'd say, well, you know, we trawl through their Twitter timeline or something like that to see if we could find any evidence of, you know, hatred towards that group or whatever. That would have been, I would have said, right, that's dodgy, but at least there's some, you know, motivation.
Some proof. Yeah,
there's some. But actually, they said, and they couldn't really answer. To be fair, because basically what they said was all it needs is the person to perceive it as a hate crime for it to be considered as such.
Wait, the victim has to perceive it as such?
Yes.
For fuck's sake.
So that was somebody who's running the consultation. So they said, well, I'm not entirely sure. You know, they kind of just bullshitted a little bit and said, oh well, I don't really know because, you know, that's more of a police matter. And they said, well, why don't you go and speak to that guy over there who is, hang on, I got his business card. That's down here. I dropped it. The Equality and Diversity Advisor for Police Scotland from the Specialist Crime Division.
Nice. Real quick, thank you, Pumpkin Trucker. For any crime, yell, Ola snack bar, and you're good. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm also eating here as well. Yeah. So I asked this guy, and he just kind of waffled. And I was like, right. So he basically said, right, for like a normal crime, if you like, you need corroborating evidence. You need at least 2 pieces of evidence to show that you were the perpetrator. For a hate crime, you only need 1. And I asked, well, how do you do that? Unless there was someone there to say, yes, they did. When they did punch that guy, they said a racial slur. How did they do that? And he basically said, well, no, the evidence would be if the victim said that they were called a racial slur. That would be enough evidence.
Oh God, that's a slippery slope.
Yeah, and I just said, is that not open to, you know, potentially being abused, you know, that kind of thing? And he just sort of went, well, blah blah blah, waffle, and then we were all ushered out the building. But he gave me his card, so I'm gonna email him with some questions so I can get some clarification on a few things. And I say we're ushered out the building. That makes it sound like, we're just told to leave, but it was a building, like a venue, and they did have something else coming in straight after.
Gotcha.
Us. So I know it sounds a bit dodgy, but
no. Did you learn anything here? Something like things you didn't know? I don't want you to give it away because I know you got video coming out on it, but were you shocked by anything?
I was shocked at the level of just the general level of agreement that hate crime should be a thing. To be fair, because the consultation was specifically about basically expanding what was considered to be a hate crime. Okay, it wasn't should hate crime be a thing. That was not the point in the consultation. But we were in little groups doing a little group discussion, and I basically was the first person to speak, and I said, I'm just here as a member of the public, and I'm opposed to the very notion of hate crime on principle, but I'm here to discuss that and talk about why people might think it is important, and I'm open to changing my mind and blah 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 blah, all that kind of stuff. And there was a facilitator, so-called facilitator, at each table, and she said, well, that's not really what the consultation's about. So I was kind of just dismissed outright right at the very start, and everybody else that was at the table was pro hate crime. There were also all parts, people representing organizations rather than just being sort of random people off the street. So that was interesting. So there was a guy there who's from the legal department of the Scottish Human Rights Council. Someone there who was an equalities officer. And I'm trying to remember what the other thing was. So there was all these people that were, they were from organizations. And so they were all for hate crime, essentially. And I probably didn't challenge them as much as I could have, but then at the same time, whenever I said anything, they just sort of went, and then moved on like I hadn't said anything.
Like, ignore that one. Ignore that guy. He's a troublemaker.
It was pretty much, yeah. So it was quite interesting, though, because, as I say, we're all in different groups. And apparently there were two other groups that did actually discuss whether or not hate crime should even be a thing. So I wish I'd been at one of those tables because, strength in numbers and all that kind of thing. So it was, yes, it was interesting. Did I learn anything? Well, I think I learned just how widespread the very idea of people being authoritarian, whether or not they're well-meaning or not, I don't know. They probably are, I think. And they're like, yeah, there's no way this could be used against us at any point. There was no, even though somebody did bring up like socialist regimes and things at one point. Someone actually said, "Oh, because if you don't protect freedom of expression, then it could go horribly wrong," kind of thing. And I was like, "Right, there's nothing here to protect freedom of expression at all." I was like, "These are completely contradictory things," and they couldn't see it.
I keep having this conversation with people where they tell me things are not as bad as you think. Things are not. They're not what you see on Twitter, and I'm like, Twitter is just what's going on in the real world. It really is.
It's the views of real people, isn't it?
Yeah. The number of people out there who would say, yes, we should be able to, okay, look, we're for free speech, but there's some words we shouldn't be allowed to say. I mean, that's a scary notion to me. Yeah. And it's not just on Twitter. There's tons of people out there like that. We have fucking politicians out there like that now.
Well, yeah, because it's really difficult not to get kind of conspiratorial about the whole thing. But do these people really think that the politicians are suddenly working in their best interest? Because any politician that says, "Oh, I'm working for the people," and all that, if they're of a different mindset, you're instantly skeptical of them and go, "Oh no, they're not working in my interest. They're the baddies," kind of thing. But then when a politician says, "Well, I'm in favor of the same hate speech laws that you guys are," they're like, "Well, that's good. That's good. I'll vote for this person." And there's no way they're going to be shady or in any way. It just seems really naive to me.
The best example over here is the gun control one. They'll show like Antifa guys. They think the government's horrible. Think the government are the only ones who should have guns. I mean, yeah. I mean,
it's contradictory, isn't it?
Speaking of weird government, I do want to talk to you about this because you're Scottish, but as we mentioned, you're part of the UK. Did you see the anti-terrorism video the UK government put out yesterday?
Well, I saw some of the memes that were coming out from it, but because I was otherwise engaged yesterday at this consultation, I didn't actually have a huge amount of time to actually look into it. So no, is the answer.
Let me find it real quick, and I'll send it to you so you can watch it, and anybody else can watch it that wants to. Hawktus Maximus, again, thank you. Twitter's a bunch of stupid, concentrated ideologies who get gutsy because the internet gives them a false impression of the size of their group. Also, the politicians are just using them. Well, you're not wrong about it, especially the last part there.
Yeah, for sure. That's kind of what I was getting to.
But I've argued with lots of people in real life who, especially when it comes to things like, oh, how dare you be racist? I'm not racist. I don't generally use slurs of any kind except honky, because I think honky's funny. But people who would have no problem shutting you up because you said the wrong word. And people who support hate crime legislation, which, by the way, guys, is just a way to keep people quiet. Okay, I gotta find this. I'm trying to search through it. To give you guys an idea of what it is, I'm gonna describe it to you, and you might not believe me until you actually see it. It's a man who goes into a hardware store and he purchases a hammer. And they tell you to keep an eye out for things like this because that's possible terrorism. I wish I was making this shit up.
And people wonder why the world's just laughing at us.
Yeah, God damn it! I
really wanted to say that yesterday to the folk in the group, but I just didn't. I just did not find the right time, But in my head, I was just like, I could just imagine, an American sitting at this table right now, and just being completely bewildered, just going, "What?" I mean, I was properly black-pilled afterwards. Because of where the venue was and everything, I actually went back home via Count Dankula's house. I was like, I need to.
Oh, gotcha.
I mean, he was meant to be coming with me anyway, and in a way, I'm quite glad that he didn't, because we'd have just got kicked out. Like, so when I started telling him some of the stuff that he was saying, he was like, "Oh, I would not have just sat quietly at that point. I'd have just, went in and went, I voted for Brexit. I'm a member of UKIP," and all that kind of thing.
I threw the link in the chat there, guys. It's only it's like 30 seconds long. It's fucking retarded.
Let me watch this then. So just give me a sec.
Yeah, right. It's like in Russia when you go into a hardware store to purchase an AK-47 and no one pays them any money. Yeah, I actually responded to that, sending them to the Bob the Builder website and told them that there's a whole website that they're training from. It's fucking silly.
Sorry, I'm just dun, dun, dun.
Are you seeing
it's a hammer?
It's a hammer. It's a fucking hammer.
But it's a man who's wearing a baseball cap and a thing over his face.
He went to a hardware store to buy a hammer. So if you see something weird like a man buying a hammer at a hardware store, don't forget to report it to the British secret police.
Yes, don't forget to report it to the Stasi. Yeah, because I mean that was one of the things that came out of the consultation yesterday. Was just like, well, if you think something may be a hate crime, if you're not sure, just report it. Just phone the police, and it'll help with our statistics. And I'm just like, no, what? No, why? Why would you trust? Oh my god.
Well, at the end of that ad that I just sent you, notice it says, if there's nothing wrong, it hurts nobody. But if there's something wrong, it could hurt people or something to that effect. I forget the exact language. Yeah, labeling somebody a terrorist has never hurt anyone.
Yes, exactly,
having their whole life poured through because they bought a fucking hammer.
Yeah, it says reporting it won't ruin lives, but it may save them. Communities defeat terrorism, right? And fair enough, right? If you see, you know, like I don't know, people unloading a van of you know, kind of dodgy looking liquids or something like that. Yeah, fair enough, right? But someone buying a hammer, and it was the music was like, you know, like, oh, no, and someone's in B&Q buying a hammer. Oh no, it must be a terrorist.
They rewind it and zoom in so you can see what he grabbed.
Look again, it's a hammer.
Well, he wanted to buy a screwdriver, but those are illegal now.
Well, yeah, and that's the other thing. It's like, well, you know what? You've taken our rights away to have any kind of weapons, and obviously there's a lot of knife crime and stuff like that. So if I go to a hardware store to buy a hammer, you know, I may use it to protect myself. You know, it's like, oh well, you know, you better report people who are buying assault hammers, ban assault hammers now. It's like, Jesus Christ. Well, just because
if they saw a nail gun, man.
Oh no, you know, you need a license for that.
Clearly you two ain't been to Jersey. No, look, I understand, but I mean, of all of the things they could have highlighted there, it's a guy buying a fucking hammer.
Man.
Yeah,
I mean, again, I know what they're getting at, but it's just so badly done.
Now I want to go around and at any late night stores in the UK and buy hammers late at night just to fuck with people.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. You know, knives and I think certain tools, I don't know if hammers are included, but they've got age restrictions on them. So you need to prove that you're over 18 to buy like kitchen knives and things like that.
What?
Yeah, I mean, that's been a thing for a long time.
Yeah. Now, what kind of does that go like all the way to butter knife or just like a carving knife?
I don't think. Well, I'm trying to remember. It's been a long time since I worked in retail. I'm trying to remember if, you know, someone bought like a set of cutlery, you know, with knives and forks and spoons and things like that. I don't think that was age restricted, but it could be now. I don't actually know. I wouldn't really be surprised if it was. But I mean, things like, you know, party poppers. Do you know what they are?
No.
No, they're you guys probably have a different name for them then, but they're essentially like a little plastic container with a bit of string on it, and you pull the string and it pops. And
okay, yeah.
What do you call it?
I gotcha. Yeah, party popper. You're right.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they're age restricted.
What?
Yeah, I never really understood that one. No, because they go bang. I don't know. I mean, like fireworks, I can understand, but party poppers, I always thought that was a bit silly. And you know, and when
is a bit silly.
Yeah, and if you're under 18 and you work at a store, a supermarket or whatever, you have to get the supervisor over to allow you to sell age restricted products. So that would, you know, so someone goes up, you know, like an old man goes out, I'm having a party, you know, I'll buy some party poppers, takes it to the checkout, and it's, you know, a 17-year-old that's working there. They have to say, well, I have to go and get my supervisor to let me put these party poppers through the till. It's like, what?
Jesus.
Yeah.
I'm righty. Real quick, I saw Sinatra was in chat. Congratulations on 100K, dude.
Yeah, man. That's awesome.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else did I want to talk about today? The Jussie thing, I forget his name already because I closed the story.
Smollett.
That's it. I'm waiting for him. I'm waiting for more on this because Hammer says he's claiming monetization on my stream. Fight me, boy.
Yeah, it's a bit difficult to buy a 1-ton hammer, I suppose.
That's right. I'm talking about just your little hammer, the terroristic kind.
Yeah,
can't believe fucking that. I'm sorry, dude. I've been laughing about that since I saw it yesterday.
Well, now I'm going to be laughing at that as well. To be fair,
it's just it's stupid. Anyway,
yeah, it really is.
Oh, Citron tells me to check Streamlabs. Thank you so much. Let's see.
Oh, I see that Scribe's there. God thrapple.
Citron says, "Shit, son, I actually get to listen to Monkey live. Isn't this a sign of the end times?" Also detailed, how bad do you think that things will get in the UK? Do you think things can be fixed, or is it too late?
It's a very good question. I often wonder that myself. Can things be fixed? I think there's potential for certain things to be repealed. I like to think that eventually people will just get so sick of things that eventually it'll become, the cool thing to repeal these things, or they probably, they don't actually repeal laws here. They just put ones in place that contradict the previous ones. That tends to be the way things happen. So they would, it's more likely that that'll happen, but I don't see that happening for quite some time. At least, I don't know. It's impossible. It's impossible to say. Really impossible to say.
Do you have any politicians over there? See, you guys do things so much different, like with your MPs.
And then we've got the Scottish Parliament as well. It's very complicated. Very complicated.
Do you have any what would be considered a major politician who's arguing against any of this shit?
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Congratulations, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well earned, well deserved, my friend.
Thank you very much. Do I sound okay? I'm still trying to get
No, you sound good.
Still trying to get this new mic figured out.
You sound sexy, man.
You sound sexy. Red Fawn says, "Hi, Scribe."
to whom?
Anyway, as I was asking, do you have any politicians who are arguing against this shit?
No.
Beautiful. There's your answer, Citron.
Yeah. Well, if anybody in the chat knows of any politicians that are, that have any clout anyway, any
clout.
Actual clout.
Any clout.
Any clout. Any clout.
You got any clips?
This is abuse. If anybody does know of any politicians who are against this kind of thing in the UK, please let me know.
Opinionated Scotsman said Philip Davis and Jacob Rees-Mogg.
Well, Philip Davis, he's very outspoken in terms of his being against like feminism and stuff like that. I haven't really heard him come out too much against stupid laws and stuff we have, and hate crime and all that sort of thing. But I may be wrong. And I know that Jacob Rees-Mogg, he signed an open letter regarding the basically the government having more control over the internet. He's in favor of that. So, yeah.
How many hammers do you own?
Me?
Yeah.
Let's see. Well, I have a sledgehammer. I have a lump hammer. I have a tack hammer. That's a tack hammer, not an attack.
He's got an attack hammer.
You heard it here, folks. Police Scotland are on their way. What else have we got?
I think he has an assault hammer.
I do have an assault hammer. I have 2 claw hammers. I've got quite a few.
Sinatra, did you watch that video?
Yeah, I shared it yesterday. Dude, I think I have probably 2 hammers in every toolbox and 12 laying around randomly.
Shit, I have hammers everywhere.
And I have, I think, 6 different toolboxes and then just hammers everywhere. So, and a giant sledgehammer and a mallet and a tiny sledgehammer. I would be so fucking wrecked.
Well, yeah. I mean,
can you imagine them going to Tail's house and then bring him out in handcuffs and laying out all his hammers that he has? We caught him. He was strapped to bear here.
But
Ladies
you know
and
what?
gentlemen, we got him.
You know what I would think is like more likely though is that if I ever got raided by the UK police, they would be looking for the hammers and the knives, not the arsenal that I have in my gun cabinet.
Well, yeah, I mean this is the thing, right? It doesn't say that people who already own hammers can be terrorists.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, if I was a terrorist, right? Obviously, I don't have any regard for law of the land. I'd probably steal a hammer. I wouldn't go to a shop and go, tell you what, this one's on offer. I'll buy this one. You
Right,
know what I mean?
right in front of the. If you're gonna buy a hammer for terroristic intent, make sure there's no security cams around.
Make sure you don't go in, with your face covered and all that kind of thing. Buy some nails while you're at it to make it look really convincing.
Usually when I buy a hammer, I just buy tarp and shovel just to throw them off.
There you go. Thank you, Cryptic. At this rate, a nail gun is an assault rifle. It is. I mean,
yeah, not wrong.
Actually, no, because most nail guns have a little clip on the end of it that has to be pushed down. But
yeah, right enough. Yeah,
I did learn if you hold a shim in front of it just enough to push it down, you can still shoot it at people.
I was going to say you'd be able to just alter.
You could still walk up to them and put it in their head. I
saw that. You got to cart around a suppressor.
Hocticus Maximus again. Thank you. I have axes on my walls and a small armory in my back room. They'd flip out when they saw my billy hook and spear. Yeah.
I actually have a spear, and I'm not talking about my willy. My great grandfather fought the Zulus in South Africa, and
racist.
Yeah, I know, right? Proper colonialist. So he brought back a spear and a shield, which was pretty cool. And yeah, it's still in my house. So I maybe shouldn't be admitting this.
You're gonna get arrested.
No felonies on stream.
Oh yeah. I'm just not allowed to say anything then, basically.
Monkey, how cold is it where you are?
Last I saw, we were at like -10 with the wind chill.
Oof.
Is that F?
I think we're getting close. I think we're getting close to -30.
Let's see.
Fuck that shit.
I haven't checked it in a while. My phone is in the bedroom, so I don't have my.
Whereas where I am right now, it's when it is cold, but it's beautiful sunny day, not a cloud in the sky.
Yeah, it's -23 in your kind of world. Tailed. That's -23 Celsius is what we got going on here.
Oof. Yeah, that's pretty chilling.
Yeah, it's cold as fuck.
I wonder if the UK are going to ban hammer horror films.
Are there any like beaten bitches to death with hammer films?
Oh, of course there are, but hammer horror was a genre of horror film, I believe.
Oh, I've never heard of that.
Did you see Donald Trump called for global warming to come back yesterday?
Good man.
Yeah, thank you, Darkshade. Walks into hardware store humming Hammer Time.
That'd be great. I'm just gonna go in a hardware store, just buy like 20 hammers, just going do 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 do.
I couldn't live over there. I would get arrested for being a smartass.
Probably as a crime, to be honest.
Yeah,
I hate crime.
I'm surprised I didn't get arrested when I was there.
I'm surprised you didn't either, or just immediately deported.
Yeah, they just launched me across the mid-Atlantic.
Yeah.
Frosted Glass just shared this with us over on Twitter.
Yeah, it's good. I like it.
Fucking Hammer Brothers. Oh God. The other story I had that I really wanted to talk about was Elizabeth Warren.
Why?
Because I've mentioned this the last couple of days. I think the Democrats are making a huge mistake here, which, by the way, guys, will guarantee Trump a second term. But they're running so far to the left, and they've just started. They don't even have to do it yet. They've just started, and they are like booking it for the left, man. Mike Bloomberg yesterday was asked about Elizabeth Warren's tax plan. For those of you who don't know, she's proposed a wealth tax We're not talking about income tax. We're not talking. This is just if you are worth this amount of money, we're going to tax you every year that you're worth that amount of money.
But they tax the money, and then they tax the earning of the money.
Yeah.
They tax the spending of the money.
Yeah.
Then they're just going to tax you for having the money?
For keeping it, yeah. Cryptic, thank you. The UK banned everything but the hammer and sickle. Ooh.
No, I'm pretty sure the sickle's
Shade.
banned because it's
Shade.
a form of knife.
Yeah, so what she's they're proposing is that if you're worth $50 million, there will be a 2% tax on you on that $50 million.
So you have to give over every million for every 50 million you're worth. What makes
now? I don't know if it's every dollar over 50 million. I haven't seen her exact plan, so it might be up to 50 million's not taxed if it's a progressive plan, and then over 50, it's like okay, 2 cents on every dollar after that. And then over $1 billion worth, it goes up to 3%.
So do you guys honestly think Jeff Bezos is going to hand over like $5 billion a year? Just
no, he's going to move his money out of the country.
He's going to move everything out of the country.
Yeah, he's going to have to.
Could you? So what you're looking at right now is a basic closing of the biggest companies that you love. Walmart, Amazon could probably just close down tomorrow and he won't give a shit.
Yeah. And they would have to, it's not like they could just move their money because it's the net worth. So, there was an apartment that sold or a house or apartment, I forget which, sold in New York the other day for $238 million. Just owning that property, the tax, if it's the progressive plan, what is that? That's $88 million that you're taxed on just for owning that place. That's not your property tax. That's not the sales tax on the capital gains for selling or anything. That's just for fucking owning it.
That's just ridiculous.
But yeah, Bloomberg said that he was against it and that it was probably unconstitutional, and that there's an example to avoid for anyone favoring radical redistribution. It's called Venezuela. To which, Lizzie had this to say: billionaires like Howard Schultz and Michael Bloomberg want to keep a rigged system in place that benefits only them and their buddies, and they plan to spend gobs of cash to try and buy the presidency to keep it that way. Not on my watch.
Not on my watch.
She goes on. This is what happens when you challenge the rich and powerful. They'll fight tooth and nail against anyone who stands up to them. But we need structural change to get our economy and our democracy back on track. And no billionaire is going to get in my way of fighting for it. She's like Batman up here, man. She's just fighting for you little guys as she tries to take people's money that has already been taxed. You stupid twat.
She's the superhero that we need.
Good morning, Hammer.
Good morning. You're banned.
We need a license for you.
Yeah, you're not allowed on any stream on my channel.
Real quick, thank you, Darkshade. That moment when these progressive types calling for this tax are mostly upper middle class white people who will benefit or who will be hit with this tax. Well, you'll notice she didn't say that over $1 million because she's a millionaire a few times over. She don't want her money taken. No.
Did you see the tweet I shared yesterday from an actual Venezuelan guy?
No.
He says William Garcia says, "Me, a Venezuelan, I'm starving in my country. White foreign communist. Actually, I read this article on BuzzFeed that says you're not. Maduro is great."
Chicago Mike, thank you. Billionaires need to, quote, share the wealth. Look, I'm all for closing loopholes in our tax system. Because every time you hear them, they pay less tax than their employees. Well, why? Because you guys keep giving them fucking loopholes they can jump through. Give us a flat fucking tax.
Money.
If you did a flat tax at like 10%, I guarantee you we'd get in more taxes than you're getting in now.
We would. And there would be a fair share because that's what they keep a fair share.
And by the way, let's keep in mind that we threw tea into the harbor over a 3% tax. All right.
Well, it was also tea.
We started a
Maximus.
war.
Thank you. I agree. We need change, but we don't need a repeat of the millionaire's tax. Well, she calls it. What doesn't she call it? The ultimate millionaire's tax or some shit.
So what would you throw in the sea over this tax then?
Elizabeth Warren.
Wow. Oh, Elizabeth. Fair enough.
Thank you. I know a fat guy. Says French tried and the millionaires moved out. Plus, this gets rid of any right to privacy since the government will need to know everything you own to assess wealth. Well, over here, they already know everything. You have to claim fucking everything. Thank you, drug dealers. The war on drugs made it so, yeah, they can snoop into every little inch of your life. We actually, I don't know if it's still a thing, but for a while in the U.S., if you tried to withdraw too much of your own money from the bank, you had to fill out a paper telling the government what you were taking it for.
Yep. I think it's anything over 10 grand.
10 grand, yep.
I'm going to remember this the next time we get made fun of by Americans.
Listen,
Hey,
I'd
look.
rather have to fill out a paperwork for 10 grand than not get investigated for liking tweets and owning hammers.
Yeah, well, our government doesn't really have much to do.
Well, remember, it's not owning hammers, it's buying them. That's a problem.
Oh, no, it will be owning soon, and it'll be owning vaguely pointy objects.
This is what happens when you get rid of the ability to own a gun.
Yeah.
Then it becomes a knife, then a hammer, then a pencil. I mean, at what point do you say, okay, all pointy things on the planet?
You can't have a sharp stick in your yard. Take that tree down. Oh God. Yeah, it's I feel bad for you guys, I do, but I also realize it's coming this way. Sinatra,
Certainly
actually,
is.
I wanted to have a conversation with you, actually, something I talked about last night.
Oh, boy.
Kamala Harris has thrown her hat into the ring.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And during her town hall, her CNN inauguration thing there.
How gross.
Yeah, she was asked about gun control. And she said, I'm going to pull it up so I can actually, hang on, I have it saved here. So I want to read you what she actually said, and then I want your opinion on something here.
All right.
Where you at?
Hey guys, I might just bail at the moment. I'm gonna get something to eat. So
yeah, sure, dude.
But yeah, nice meeting you guys.
Take it easy, bud. Thanks for coming on.
See you, dude.
Okay.
Who was that?
She
guy?
said. She said, you can be in favor of the Second Amendment and also understand that there's no reason in a civil society that we have assault weapons around communities that can kill babies and police officers.
Well, we don't have assault weapons. We have Armalite rifles, which are not the same thing. Assault weapons such as M4 were banned in the fucking National Firearms Act, I think, of '89.
My question for anybody who says this kind of shit, and I'm not encouraging it, but my question is, I've never seen an actual firearm that couldn't kill a baby. So
that's a good point.
So if her reasoning for getting rid of them is because babies can be killed, shouldn't she be against all of them?
Black powder pistol can kill.
Yeah.
Nerf guns can kill.
I don't understand, and you're a Second Amendment guy. That's why I wanted to ask you about this, because I'm not in favor of that. I think I am strong Second Amendment. However,
can you send me this also? Literally, the reason people like me have a quote unquote assault weapons is because they're effective against police. If we ever needed to use them against the police.
I threw it into chat there. I'm also going to throw it to you in DM. But yeah, there's CNN went through and they broke down her whole town hall one question at a time and put it up on Twitter. This was the gun control question. When people come at you at gun control and tell you, look, we just need to get rid of a couple of these guns because it's killing babies. How do you respond to them?
Oh, I respond by all the points I just said. Any gun can kill a baby. And C, pit bulls kill more babies than guns. So are we going to ban pit bulls?
Do you ever see? I don't think any of these people are actually because like you can still favor the Second Amendment. I don't think she really favors the Second Amendment.
No, she doesn't.
I think she's afraid to say what she really wants to say, which is that they want to ban all guns. And anytime you say that, everybody's like, nobody wants to take your guns. Like, well, when you're literally when your measurement is, can it kill a baby? I mean, leaving it on the floor by itself for a week will do that. Jar Jar Binks, thank you. Will that stop a drone strike? Remember the times? And Cryptic, thank you. I never shot my M16A2 on burst due to accuracy.
Yeah, rapid fire kind of sucks.
Yeah. It's too inaccurate. Unless you're like tripod.
Void Horizon says they're trying to ban pit bulls. Well, that's good. Pit bulls are terrible dogs.
No, I see this kind of argument from gun control activists all the time. And I want one of them to fucking come up and answer. Okay, what gun is it okay to kill a baby with?
Anything with less than a 5-round magazine and
a clip. They would not say magazine.
Oh yeah, and
they would say clip.
Glock with less than a 10-round magazine, like we have in New York, that stopped gun crime.
Pumpkin Trucker, thank you. Want to ban the #1 baby killer? Coat hangers? Done. There's another.
Yeah, they love abortion.
Well, New York just passed the law, and there was a legislator in California doing it just yesterday. Real quick, thank you, Chicago Mike. They want to repeal the Second Amendment. That will never happen. Never say never, my friend. You got to keep vigilant. That's my point there. It'll never happen as long as people stay vigilant. But New York passed a law, and California's trying to get a law passed where you can abort literally up to the time of birth.
It's pretty disgusting.
That is actually disgusting. And Tom Leach in the chat has a good point. He said gun control works, but walls don't because they find a way around it.
Right. Walls don't work. So remember, where it's -16, -50, any of those places, don't worry about going outside. Your walls don't work anyway.
Let's put this in perspective. Guns are bad because they kill babies.
Yes.
Abortion is good because it kills babies. And a wall will never work because people can get around it. But banning all this other stuff will totally work.
Yes.
Let's not mince words about it. All right. And if you want to say I have tinfoil hat on me, that's fine.
Before you get your tinfoil, let me get this. Hawkticus, thank you. That New York law is a literal baby murder law. I'm not. Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry, son.
Let's just be 100% honest about this. They're not going to go after gangbangers who have fully automatic weapons in the middle of the city. They're not going to go after cartels and gun runners. They're going to go after legal gun owners. They want to stop you from defending yourself against these people. So you're reliant on the state to defend you. Anything the Democrats can do to make you a little more reliant on Big Brother, they will do in a heartbeat.
Real quick, Fussy Notions asks, abort as long as they're a threat to the mother to die in the birthing process, or is it any reason? The New York law, it's the health of the mother, but it's up to the doctor that's there to make that call. And it's on Twitter somewhere. I wish I had saved it.
I'm pretty sure they give you the same stringent medical screening like they do for medical marijuana.
Oh, dude, with the one in California, this woman's actually arguing for the mental health of the mother. So if a doctor says, this could mentally harm the mother, after her water breaks, they can kill that kid. And let's be serious here. We're not talking about fetus versus baby here. At that point, we're talking fucking baby, period. It's fucking disgusting that this is pushing that far.
And they celebrated it. People were cheering. It boggles the mind.
It's disgusting.
Scrappy says they want Illinoisans to register their firearms. If you guys ever have the state ask you to register your gun, say you don't own a single thing. Because then they're going to know what you have, and then when it's banned, they're going to come to your house with the SWAT team to get it.
I'm trying to find that. Oh, here it is right there. This is fucking disgusting. Oh, I'm sorry. I said California. It's not California. It's Virginia. I'm sorry. Wrong state. So the one where they, yeah, and you can fucking watch this cunt talk. I mean, yeah, we should be able to kill babies, right? It's between her and her doctor. If only that poor baby had a doctor. I fucking hate people. Fucking hate people.
People are the worst.
What are you guys' thoughts? Because you guys weren't here when we discussed it about the what's his name? Jussie Stonick. Somebody help me. God damn it.
Oh, the fake hate crime guy?
Yeah. What do you think about that hate crime?
It's a fake.
Hammer? Think it's a fake?
I tweeted out about it that Matt Christensen does this hoax hate thing on his podcast, and I made him aware of it because I can't believe with the circumstances they've presented that this can be a real thing.
It can be a real thing, but it didn't happen like he's saying if it is real.
Oh, come on. Someone is walking around, was it Chicago, with a noose in their hand looking for a black guy to hang? I mean, come on.
Well, that's real quick. Thank you, Jar Jar Binks. What if you have police in a police encounter while unregistered? Sinatra?
I don't
know. don't be running around with your unregistered firearm on you.
Yeah. Okay. Buy one gun and register it. Carry that. But the rest of your shit leave unregistered.
Excuse me. Pinky Golf City Salmon says, sterilize anyone who has had more than one abortion. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that.
That's interesting perspective.
At least staple some saran wrap to their genitals. Thank you, Darkshade. These are the KKK Democrats we're talking about. So maybe they're starting with fetus and working their way back to unpersoning certain races again. Well, it's funny you should talk about that. If you actually go back through the history of abortion here in the U.S., yeah, there's some racism to it. Some flat out racism to it.
I'll be right back.
Yeah. It's amazing. Do you know which race has been the most aborted in the U.S.? I'll give you a hint. It's not white people. Oh, man. Let's see. I had other articles and I accidentally closed them.
Did you touch on Elizabeth Warren's other faux pas about the healthcare industry?
Warren or Harris?
Was it? I don't know.
It was Harris.
Was it Harris that was doing that?
Yeah, Cryptic, real quick. Thank you. America needs to go to war with Vietnam again. For what? Yeah, no, we didn't touch on that. That's a good one to touch on. Kamala Harris and her in that same town hall where she was talking about the Second Amendment there. She came out and said that she was in favor of Medicare for all and that she was for getting rid of private insurance.
Completely. The entire industry.
Yep.
Like everybody who has a job in the private industry of healthcare is losing their job.
Thank you, James Colley. Can't any weapon be considered an assault weapon? If you assault somebody with it, yes. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Hammer.
Yeah, Shapiro said that she would be removing 1/5 of our economy.
Yeah. Well, you also have to understand that. Real quick, thank you, Sanguine. More people die falling out of bed each year than do from rifles or shotguns. So when are the dens coming for my therapeutic or my Tempur-Pedic? Yeah. They make no sense. They just don't. They're not consistent when it comes to whether or not they want to take care of people. But be careful if you tell them that and they pay attention. Yeah, they're gonna start getting rid of assault beds. And thank you, Cryptic. The VA delegate is Vietnamese. It produced her. The Virginia delegate. I'm not getting into your racism there, Cryptic. Oh God, that's not racism. That's xenophobic. Oh man, my fucking ear hurts. Sorry, hang on a second, guys. Just let me whine. So yeah, Harris decided she wants to shut down the whole medical community or the private healthcare industry, and then people were like, "Excuse me, this is stupid." To which she like immediately went back on it.
Yeah, she backpedaled.
They also, I'm also seeing articles that say Kamala Harris and her history of voting on the death penalty might be a problem for leftists.
Oh, when they start talking about her actual prosecutorial. Thank you, God damn it, prosecutorial record. It's going to cause a lot of problems. P-Dog, thank you. My wife used a coffee cup as an assault weapon. Sorry to hear that, but Miles Kinslow, thank you. Calling it now, either a bad drug deal, failed grinder, or publicity. What was he doing outside? He was getting Subway at 2:00 in the morning.
X.
Johnny Hellcat, thank you. We need common sense Tempur-Pedic control. We do. Okay, let's start with that middle one. That is my guess. My guess is that he got into. All right, this is a gay man. I'm not being mean here, but he's a young gay man. Young gay men hooking up on Grindr tend to get into some shit now and then.
They get robbed and shit, you know?
Yeah. And it's a much better story that he got racially and sexually profiled rather than it being, oops, I hooked up with some dude I'd never met before and let him blow me in a parking lot. I mean, it's 2:00 in the morning when it's like fucking 10 below zero. That's the part that I haven't seen anybody in the press even mention is how fucking cold it was in Chicago at 2:00 in the morning 2 nights ago. They're all just like, no, somebody was out there. They brought a rope just in case they found a black homo.
They already went back on the MAGA thing, right?
Well, no, it comes and goes. It depends on which source you look at.
Yeah, but remember, guys, journalists, they're the real oppressed people in America.
Learn the code.
No, there's a guy on Twitter. I mentioned this earlier. He dug into this and he called the Chicago Police Department. And the one police department said there was no mention of any MAGA stuff. He called a different one because he'd gotten contrary reports. And I don't know if he called a different station or if he called a different person at the one station. And he was told, yes, there was the MAGA stuff in the report.
I thought TMZ was the only one that said that there was MAGA.
No, that was. See, this is why I usually, if there's something I'm going to talk about, I retweet it so I can find it really quick. I didn't retweet that one, but yeah, I forget his name. He's no leftist. He was actually somebody's like, this smells like shit. So he went looking into it, and yeah, he got told two different things. Excuse me. What was he wearing? That's another question that I'm curious about, because there's also a report that one of them said he's that homo from Empire. Like, it's Chicago in the dead of night. And yeah, well, I realize they have street lights and stuff. I don't know how you guys dress when it's 10 degrees below zero, but you can barely see my fucking face. You'd be hard pressed to know it was me unless I talked to you.
Not only that, but how do you dress like a straight up fag?
I know, right? Or a black man. I mean, this is okay. Maybe he wasn't wearing a hat, but otherwise, I mean, you got to get pretty close to even see somebody's color if they're that wrapped up.
I don't understand how a guy who's a television star in Empire, who's obviously going to be making bank on all this because Empire's a big fucking hit. How he's walking by himself through Chicago at 2 a.m. in the morning. Where is his fucking his posse? Yeah, I mean, you know,
he needed a meatball sub. George Binks, thank you. MAGA equal make America great or gay again. Nothing about that story makes any goddamn sense. There is if he was actually attacked, they are keeping something that happened back. They're not telling us something.
If I'm a television star and I'm making good money, I'm having delivery. There's no fucking way I'm going out in Chicago at 2 o'clock in the morning at 10 degrees below zero to get a sandwich. Fuck that.
Well, there's also, I mean, okay, let's be honest. We're talking about a star here. He may have had the munchies. I mean, there's also that. I just the way the attack happened, none of that shit makes any sense. None. But we were talking about Harris. Harris did not have a good rollout. The press loves her, but if you watch all of the CNN clips of her answers, they're not very good. They're actually kind of stupid. And her having to. This is what I was talking about with the Dems running so far left. They want this Medicare for all thing. And she took it one step further without even needing to be pushed into it and we're going to get rid of private health care. The fuck? By the time this is over, they are going to be outright saying we need to revive Marx and bring him back to teach us the way.
Do you know the way?
Do you know the way? Cryptic, thank you. Maybe he got the wrong meatballs. No, I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm saying it didn't happen the way it's told, or we told it did, if it did happen at all. But it didn't happen. Damn it! Now I want a meatball sub too, but I ain't going outside. It's cold as fuck out there. I will stick with bologna for today. Oh, you doing anything special for your 100,000 subs?
We should be doing a Ghost Poo special this weekend where we look at a bunch of live PD clips that I put together. And if you guys have any suggestions, you can tweet them at me. I love live PD.
What is PD?
It's like Cops, but better.
Oh, you mean live cop footage?
Yeah, it's a show called Live PD.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I've heard of it. I haven't seen it yet.
It's very, very good.
I miss Cops, man. I liked watching white trash get beat up by police.
Yeah, this is very good. Pinky says Tucker marathon. Gonna do Tucker tonight. Yesterday was my girl's birthday, so I took her out to do all the birthday stuff.
Ranting Monkey. Hey, it's that cripple from Lords of the Night. Get him or get the rope. Yeah. That's another thing. When they first said it, they wrapped a rope around his neck, and now it's a very thin rope. Like they were running around with balloon string or something. Like kite string. Poppy says, my teenage boyfriend was on Cops. I bet your parents were happy. Jar Jar, thank you. Pennsylvania Catholic Church. It didn't happen.
I don't know. Either way, I don't believe any of these hate crimes are real.
Well, we keep finding out too many of them aren't. I mean, just like when we talked about this last night, Scribble listed off several that we found out weren't. I mean, the nooses hung around a campus, bananas left all over a campus. That bitch who was getting anti-Semitic writings on the whiteboard she put on her door.
They all happened.
All the shit written on receipts.
It just wasn't a white person who did it.
No, it
was either all not a white person or the person who it happened to.
Yeah.
Pumpkin Trucker, thank you. His grinder said, give me 12 inches and make it hurt. Jet Li for life, thank you. Hey guys, it's 20 here in Chicago. Turn down OT. Or minus 20. Yeah, I don't blame you for that. it ain't worth dying to get a little bit of extra money. I'm sorry, what were we just? Oh no, but like that the Jewish girl, she was writing it up herself. The bananas they were found out to be put up by a black girl. We had the one where the Black Lives Matter protest got racial threats on, was it Twitter? I can't remember, but it was somebody at that rally decided it wasn't getting enough attention, so she went into the school library and sent threats to her own organization over and over and over and over again. We keep finding these things are fucking full of shit.
You know how you can tell for sure that they're not true? If there's a GoFundMe set up.
Yeah. Thank you, Chicago Mike. I recently finished a book of Marx, Harpo Marx. That's probably the best one to read. Because Carl was a fucking moron. Oh, man.
I prefer Groucho.
He's too well known.
Can you name all four?
Oh, that's just... It's Groucho, Heppo.
No one gets all four.
Harpo. Fuck, I used to know him.
Can you name all the Stooges?
Everybody falls the first time.
It's Larry, Moe, Curly, and Shemp.
No.
What?
Can you hammer?
Yeah, he's right.
You're forgetting one.
Who?
Curly Joe.
Curly Joe.
Who?
Yeah, exactly.
Huh. There's a video on the New York Post with everything you need to know about frostbite. Don't get it. That's what you need to know.
Whose phone is just going off?
That's me. It's Inquisitor.
Hammer.
We're playing tag team back and forth of who has the coldest experience right now. And he's in Chicago, so he's going to win, bastard.
I don't know. It's negative 30 here.
Jesus fuck, man. Still better than Wisconsin or Minnesota are getting today. Fuck, man. You see that? Like minus 50? Fuck that.
Jeez.
I wonder how many people are going to have power outages and freeze to death.
Is this the polar thing that shifted? Is that what it is?
The polar vortex.
Yeah, is that what we're experiencing? Is a polar vortex shift?
Yeah.
Or is it just cold air?
No, it's the polar vortex shift.
God.
It'll be done here in a couple of days. What is it in real degrees? I'm not sure. Like I said, I don't have my phone with me, so I don't know what the temperature is. I'm in a nice warm house. That's all I care about. Maybe record lows will keep the Progs from rioting. Yeah, I was looking at the cold map, and in South Texas, it's only supposed to get up to like 40 today. Like, that's fucking weird, man. I'm moving to Mexico. I'm gonna make Mexico great again, y'all. Oh man. What do you guys think of the YouTube's getting rid of conspiracy videos? Real quick, Hawktus, thank you. Minus 50 with the wind.
Oh my god.
With the wind chill by me. Work is out because the power relay caught on fire. They also canceled work tomorrow. I was shocked. Also, I have a wood burner. Good for you.
Oh man, if you want a toasty house, getting a wood burning stove, holy crap.
It dries it out so much though.
Yeah, my parents had one. Man, it was 80 degrees in that house.
Yeah. They real popular up here a few years ago were the corn burning ones.
Corn? Really?
Yeah. You burn corn, and when it's all done, it makes this little black cannonball looking thing. Yeah, it burns real hot, but it's so dry, man. You gotta make sure you got a what's it called in there? Humidifier. Sinatra.
Yes.
What do you think about the conspiracy theory videos getting struck from the YouTubes?
That's dumb. It's not going to stop people from believing in conspiracy theories.
You know, I've seen most of the people that I've seen who've been in favor of this, they all fall back on the anti-vax thing. And well, I think anti-vaxxers are fucking morons. I don't think hiding it from YouTube is going to do anything, because that's not where it started in the first place.
No, they get it from TV.
Yeah, and we all know that's not what they're actually targeting. Let's be honest. They made that rule for Alex Jones so that they can justify why they took him down.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chicago Mike. The 5 Marx brothers in order of birth are Chico, Harpo, Groucho, Gummo, and Zeppo.
Gummo.
There you go.
Saw a tweet from a woman who said on the subject of vaccinations, who said, "My son has not been vaccinated, and there's measles going around in the schools. There's something I could do to protect him." Yes, vaccinate him. What the fuck?
Yeah, I can't remember. I think it was I can't remember where I saw that tweet. But yeah, they blocked out the person's name, but they had the group they're in. And it says anti-vax. I'm like, what you need is after the hashtag or the dash mark there. Vaccinate your kid, and it'll. Yeah, that lady got torn to shreds for asking that stupid fucking question.
Well, people will learn as their kids die from not being vaccinated. They'll learn.
Yeah, YouTube has been making a lot of changes. Do you watch the Creator channel? Either?
No. Why would I?
You should. You know what they're thinking of getting rid of now?
What?
The dislike button.
Oh, well, yeah. I think Mundane Matt asked for that specifically.
No, they put out a video yesterday where they're talking about and here's the purpose: to stop mobs of dislikes.
How about you just tell people to stop making shitty content?
Well, here's the thing. Here's the if I'm trying to remember all of them, so I might miss one, but he came on there and he gave some suggestions that they might try. Now, they might not change anything. That's one of them. They might just leave it. You know how you can turn off ratings on videos?
Yeah.
They might make that the default so that you actually have to go and turn on likes and dislikes for each video.
Well, they did that with monetization for some channels.
Yeah, but I don't want to have to go in on every fucking video. And yes, before y'all give me any shit, I know I've only made one in a long time, but I don't want to have to remember to go in and turn on likes and dislikes. Just leave it. If people are that upset by it, let them go turn it the fuck off. But the other one was to make dislikes go away. You'd still have likes on there, but make dislikes go away. And then my favorite is have dislikes, but then have a list of reasons why you dislike the video.
Oh, that'll be good. I like that one. I actually like that.
They're all stupid. Thank you, Jar Jar Binks. Great. They can get rid of YouTube heroes. Yeah. That was a wonderful thing. That happened right as we started, man. Do you remember that shit? YouTube heroes. Where you could mass flag things. That was one of their selling points. That a YouTube hero could mass flag content. And they thought that would be a good idea.
Why can't YouTube just leave it the fuck alone?
Well, there's things they need to change that they're not. Like, give me live chat as the default on streams, you dick bags.
Yeah, really.
Now, here's one that he didn't propose that I wouldn't have a problem with. Because he did say, that a lot of times you'll see that these videos get tons of dislikes and nobody will actually watch them. There's like no watch time on them. If they wanted to make it so like you had to watch 10% of the video before you could vote on it, I'd have no problem with that.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable.
But just getting rid of it because people are getting their feelings hurt because they get flagged for stupid content. Not flagged, downvoted for stupid content. Shut up. Stop making stupid content. You won't have that problem. Oh, man.
What about that stupid gray box?
What's that?
What about that stupid gray box that comes up in chat? Welcome to live chat. Remember to guard your privacy and bye. And now the super chat button flashes and it puts a message up there as well.
It depends on, well, it flashes. It's been doing the flash for a long time. Anytime there is a donation is supposed to get your attention.
Oh.
And then the box at the top is only for $5 or more because YouTube
Yeah,
doesn't
see,
think you.
I keep getting that message. Highlight your message with super chat. It points down at the super chat button.
Oh, I don't get that on mine.
And then I can't type anything in because it hides where you type in shit.
Oh, yeah, that's not a problem I have. Let's see. Mr. Misanthropic says, "What is wrong with people? I love reading hate comments on my videos. I love hate comments. They make me laugh. I actually miss doing a Dear Dumbass because of them. Those are fun when somebody comes in there and just tries to rip you one and you get to turn it around on them. Which I can't do anymore because I'd probably get fucking kicked off YouTube. Jar Jar, thank you. My feelings can't be hurt. I'm a neckbeard masochist. Alrighty then.
Have you taken your Dear Dumbasses off the channel?
No. I just stopped making them.
They're gonna come after you anyway, you know.
Eventually, I'm sure. Well, the thing is, they've already been repeatedly looked at by YouTube. Every time we have a new set of rules that comes down, those end up flagged every time. And it's funny. I think there's actually one or two of them that are still monetized. Most of them were like, no monetization.
You're going to end up like Vegan Gains. They're going to go after your old content and they're going to kill your channel.
Look, Vegan Gains is an asshole. But what they did there, especially with the video they had just put out. I don't know if you saw it, last week's creator video thing they did. They were talking about how they're not changing the rules. They're just going to start enforcing them. And they're going to be more consistent about it. They actually said that, more consistent. And they were talking about how they were going to start taking down the conspiracy videos. But mostly what they talked about was the prank videos. And they said, look, you guys might not have known you were breaking the rules at the time. So we're not going to give you strikes when we take down your videos. We'll take them down. And Vegan Gains, who's had these videos up for years, we've all seen his fucking fucked up things he's got on YouTube. And even he said, look, I was trying to take this stuff down before I got hit for it. But they left it up for years. If you're going to be consistent and you're going to let, Jake Paul not have to lose his channel because he drove with his eyes fucking closed and put it up on a video, and the least you can do is, not swat Vegan Gains for stupid shit he did 3 or 4 years ago that you've had no problem with until now.
I mean, it is just clear favoritism, but that's always the case on YouTube.
Which, again, I wouldn't have had as much a problem if he hadn't literally said to be more consistent. I mean, you fucking douchebag. It's like they think we're morons. And look, a lot of people out there are, but Jesus fuck. We're going to be more consistent, and we're going to show you that by being inconsistent.
I have a conspiracy theory about YouTube. It's a known fact that YouTube does not make money for Google. So
it does now.
Oh, it does?
Because of Super Chat. Yes, it does now. Oh,
they're in the black? Wow.
Thank you, Blind Press. I missed a couple of Streamlabs ones. Thank you, Sanguine. Groucho, Harpo, Chico, and Zeppo, minus 27. Real Feel, minus 47. Fuck, dude. Stay inside. Stay warm. And Blind Press, thank you. Anti-vaxxers will never learn. Their kids will die from the shedding of the virus from the vaccines the other children's get. Fucking idiots. Yeah, I mean,
anti-vaxxing is just late-term abortion. Changed my mind.
Indeed. And yeah, guys, if you do send me something on Streamlabs, please let me know, because for some reason, I wish I could use OBS so I'd have one of those pop-ups that told me I got one, but I have to actually refresh to see them.
There's a thing in Streamlabs that you could just pop out. Like if you go to your alert box and you click launch, it'll give you a little window that'll go off whenever you get an alert.
Alert box. Okay. Oh, right there. Okay, I will have to do that some other time because it makes me read, and y'all know how I read on stream.
Okay, wait.
Yeah.
So click on alert box.
Yeah.
And do you see where it says click to show widget URL kind of in the middle of the screen?
Oh, I see widget URL.
Now go over to the little green button that says launch and just click that. And it'll pop up a blue window.
Oh.
And that's where you get your slabs notifications.
It's not doing anything. It's just a green box.
Yeah, and that's all it's going to be until a notification comes through.
Cool. Okay. And do I have to open that every time?
Nope. It'll go off. It'll make a sound, and then you can read it and do whatever.
No, I mean every time I launch Streamlabs.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Sorry guys, didn't mean to get distracted there. You guys watch the show. You know how it is. It's your own fault. Sorry, just taking a look at what Chad is saying. Sadly, to be a good communist, you have to start in the past. I don't think you can be a good communist. You see oh God, yes. Did you see all the crap that's being tossed about Mary Poppins and blackface? Yes, I did. A New York Times article. I don't know if it's an actual article, if it's an opinion piece. I've seen the screen caps of it, but they're talking about the problem with the blackface of Mary Poppins. It wasn't blackface, you idiots. It was
chimney.
Hey,
right?
Thank you, Cryptic. I just the donation thing worked. And it just says test. Thank you, bud. All right. And Sinatra, thank you for that. I've been looking for that forever, and I probably should have asked somebody who uses it more often. But yeah, Mary Poppins, they weren't pretending to be black. He was a chimney sweep. That was soot. That wasn't fucking black makeup.
Yeah, most of these people don't even know what a chimney is, so don't try to reason it.
I'm just I'm getting tired of policing the past anyway. But when they take something like this that is literally not even close to what they're talking about, go fuck yourselves. I mean, it's bad enough that we're seeing. I mean, we saw that Friends is problematic to millennials. Fuck off. Understand that there's different times, and you weren't part of it.
What they just need to understand is that Seinfeld is better than Friends.
Bullshit.
Oh my God! Don't start with me.
Bullshit. That is objectively false.
Put one in the chat if you think Seinfeld is better than Friends.
They're both decent programs.
Friends was funnier. Seinfeld had I think I can count on one hand how many shows I think were actually really funny. The masturbation one is a classic. That is one of the funniest shows to ever be on TV.
Look at all those ones that agree with me.
There's mostly twos, Dick. You know I can see the screen, right?
No, that's mostly ones. I see
Friends
like
was
3 twos and a bunch of fucking ones.
You guys can say Friends was a funny show.
Look at all those ones, monkey.
I was watching. What the fuck are you talking about? Oh, you dick.
Friends was sexier. It had hot women on it.
It was. Seinfeld wasn't as I don't know, directly funny. I mean, Friends tossed out jokes constantly, where Seinfeld was more of a
situational situation.
Yeah, it's a funny.
Oh, wait a minute. I just noticed something.
What? That you're losing?
Badly?
I got a check mark.
You got a check mark? Oh yeah, you do. Look at that. Congrats, my friend. Another. Damn. Did you just get that automatically at 100?
I think so. I had to request it, but I didn't think it would go through.
Sweet, dude. No, man. I am so happy for you. I really am.
Thank you.
Very nice.
I am both happy for you and pissed at myself that I didn't keep going. Because I've said, look, I'm gonna suck up to you for just a minute. Back at the end of 2016. Oh, Thank you so much, Pumpkin Trucker. Friends was better for a time. They had a monkey. Indeed, they did. Shit, what was his name? Marceau. And thank you. Wait a second. Why isn't that one popping up? Thank you, Pincalo. Night Court or Friends? Ooh, that's hard. Night Court was great. The early seasons.
Night Court was pretty good.
Dan Fielding was awesome. Okay, so these are not going to keep up. I'm going to have to look at both. All right, I got you. But anyway, back to sucking up to Sinatra for a minute. After the 2016 election, a lot of people were like, I'm leaving the anti-SJW. We've won, or it's stupid, or it's all been done. And tons of people just left it. And you had people like me who just stopped making videos. And you had Sinatra who just kept plugging, doing the same thing he's always done. And he's being rewarded for it, and deservedly so. So seriously, hat tip, my friend.
I think a lot of the reason people left too is because of the adpocalypse.
Well, that actually happened beforehand, though. That the first year I was on here, the adpocalypse started, like 4 months in? And people still were making the same kind of content through the end of the election, at least. And maybe 6 months later, and that's when they all decided. So maybe that was part of it. Maybe it was just a bunch of people who were riding that wave because it was easy money. And it was, guys, man. I really wish I knew what my revenue would look like without the adpocalypse.
I know, right? Holy shit. I'm almost at 3 million views for the month. I'm like, oh man, that'd be a fat fucking check.
But there's a part of me that's also glad it happened when it did. Because if we'd got in on it and I had gotten to the point, my best check before the adpocalypse was about $900. That was all ad revenue. Wow. And then the adpocalypse hit, and my next check was less than $100. And so I hadn't got to a place where it's like, okay, I can rely on this. And if I had, I can't imagine. I'm glad it happened when it did. I mean, I wish it never did, but if it had to happen, at least it happened before we got like hooked on that money, like some people seem to have.
Yeah, and you saw it throw a lot of people into desperation.
Yes.
Look, this is going to sound extremely selfish, but I'll power through it. I am kind of glad that the adpocalypse happened when it did, because it really cut a lot of people out from making content.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did.
No, I will never celebrate another person getting banned from the internet.
No.
But if you leave on your own accord because you just want more money, then bye.
Look, there were people who were obviously in it for the money, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I think a lot of people, if they'd stuck with it, if they actually believed in what they were saying, I find it so weird. So many people go, I'm a liberal, but I was against SJWs. I'm like, you do realize you believe in the same thing, though, right?
Well, I think we've noticed, especially recently, a lot of people just losing their minds over.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I know a lot of you guys out there like Sofane, and I like Sofane too, but he is one of those people who is falling into Trump derangement syndrome.
Yes, he is.
Like, I see him just replying to Trump's tweets, yelling at him, like, Sofane, stop.
He got upset with me, and I asked him for a follow-up, but I didn't get one. Schumer came onto the Senate floor the other day and said that the shutdown cost us $3 billion in GDP, and by the time it was over, it would cost us another $11 billion, or no, a total of $11 billion, another 8. And I simply replied, so you didn't give Trump 5.7, it's costing us 11, and the border's still open. Where's the win? And Sofane, spin. I'm like, well, by all means, answer the question. Where's the win there? If you'd just given him the money, it would have cost about half of what you're telling us it's costing the GDP. Plus that money,
and it's going to shut down again. Don't forget that.
Plus that money would have been put into the economy. That's 5.7 that would have been put into contracting and building the walls and all of this.
Materials, everything.
Yeah. So not only did you not put that money in, you cost us $11 billion to not protect the border. The fuck? How do you and the news is like, look, Chuck's pointing out what happened that was bad here. Yeah, that Chuck did. I mean, I don't understand. I really don't.
You'd think the Democrats would try to keep that on the lowdown.
You would think so.
Look what we did.
Yeah, but no. Now they're like, look, and I saw this. I saw somebody today arguing. I think it was one of the Krasensteins. If Trump shuts it down again, Nancy will just own his ass. I'm like, Nancy's a bitch. And if she doesn't work with him on this, if she doesn't show some kind of willingness to work, I mean, this is on her now. He gave her 3 weeks and said, look, and they said, we'll work on border security. Well, you got to give something. Otherwise, it's on you, bitch. Oh, man.
Yeah, first one was on him, but this one's going to be on her.
Well, see, that's another thing. I've gotten into so many arguments lately. He said he would be proud to shut down the government. Yeah, but why did he say he'd be proud of it? He said he'd be proud to do it for border security. I mean, that's the part that keeps getting left off of all of the headlines and stuff. But he said he'd be proud to do it for border security. He was willing.
Democrats can never finish a sentence.
No, well, it doesn't make a good headline if you put that in there. Right.
You grab by the pussy. And they let you.
My border's my choice.
They never hear the other half of the sentence.
Irate Bear says, I always check out their replies to Trump. The amount of spurgery is amazing. It's fucking insane. These people are insane.
It is really unbelievable. But I see Sophane in there. I'm like, dude, you look like one of these guys. Stop that.
And yeah, politically, me and Sophane don't seem to have much at all in common. But as long as we're not talking politics, me and Sophane get along real good.
Monday, Matt's another person who kind of lost his mind this year.
Yeah, he had a bit more pressure on his mind.
I mean, just the Trump thing.
Yeah,
like he hates Trump, and he makes it so fucking abundantly clear.
Well, I got called,
even though he thinks he got Trump elected. I don't understand how that works.
I see a lot of people who just hate Trump, and I was arguing with somebody the other day, and it was over that very thing. Trump saying he'd be proud to close the government, and I'm saying, and why did they say that? And they came back to me with a quote that was where he said he'd be proud to shut down the government, and he wouldn't blame the Democrats. I'm like, yeah, that doesn't actually answer why, and that quote is in there. And so I put it back there and said, try one that doesn't just fit your narrative of I only read the headlines. And that's the self-righteous monkey I know. Like, it's not self-righteous to point out the fucking truth. And that they actually went on to say, there's nothing about this man that makes me happy. Yeah. I get it. He won when y'all wanted Hillary to. But he's not the devil, for fuck's sake.
Tonk is another person who went insane.
Well, my thoughts on Tonk are pretty much.
Kraut went insane. Kraut went really insane.
I think Kraut was insane.
Am I missing anybody?
That went
just extremely public meltdowns.
Not that I can think of.
DSP.
Who's DSP?
He was a Twitch streamer who got caught whacking it on camera.
Yeah.
Shoe on head, yeah, she kind of lost it.
Well, Shoe on head, she had a meltdown. Look, I don't hate Shoe, and I think hers is more to do with.
Warski, I forgot about Andy burning his nipples.
Oh God, Andy. No, Shoe started with the VidCon, not this year, the one before. When she met Riley and she came back, and everybody did their apology tour for making fun of Riley. Do you remember that?
Yeah, she's like, what if they just feel trans? Isn't that enough?
Yes, and she has trans friends, so instead of being able to look, there's trans people who watch this show, and I don't change what I say because of who's here. My opinion doesn't change based on who I know, because that's stupid.
I would say Irate Bear because he's in the chat and he wants someone to say his name, but he's been in a free fall for years.
Can somebody explain to me why Armored is so hated?
I really dislike Armored Skeptic, just because I think he's a giant fake and he has an ego he doesn't deserve. Like, he just reeks of fraud.
A lot of people don't like him for the very reason that Logic made the video on him. The second video on him, not the first one, not the one about his fucking ego where he's skeptic clones everywhere. The second one he made was about, it wasn't Bill C-16, it was the other one, the Canadian law that supposedly made it where you could have your kids taken away if you didn't cater to their transness. And Skeptic made a video where he's pointing this all out, and he went full on outrage over it. And Logic's like, you didn't even fucking pay attention to any of this, did you? And just ripped him from side to side.
You know who else? Two other people did an amazing job just wrecking him besides me, of course. What are you guys doing? Coke?
No, man, it's a nasal spray. I have a cold.
Wasn't me.
I'm trying to breathe. I'm sorry.
Dr. Lehman did a video that just, I think it was like a 4-part video, and one of them he actually apologized for because it was too mean. And about how Armored Skeptic doesn't understand postmodernism. And Naked Ape did one that just was brutal.
I remember that whole thing. I don't remember, or I didn't see shit. Hang on. Thank you, Cryptic. Bear didn't have a meltdown. He just got downs.
Maddox. Yeah, Maddox kind of went crazy.
A lot of them weren't like crazy. Like with Tonka didn't go crazy. Tonka just got exposed for what he is. What he's always been.
Went Tonka.
I guess I could put Jeff Holiday in that group too. He kind of
wouldn't you say that was last year though? This year he's been pretty quiet.
I don't know.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Sinatra says. Happy birthday to you. You dick.
It's not my birthday.
That's my way of congratulating Sinatra on smashing 100,000 subscribers and calling him a dick.
Thank you.
Well, he is a dick, but he's our
I got
dick,
this fancy blue check mark too.
Let me see it.
Okay.
Put it in the chat. Let him say it. There you go.
Fuck, I just realized I can now show my Streamlabs above board.
There you go. Congratulations on your tick.
Thank you. People have Jeff made a really big ass of himself with Kevin Logan.
Oh, that stream was so cringe.
Dude, Kevin messaged me. I was like, I watch that. When does Jeff jump in? And then I got to the part. I was like, oh, never mind. And he's like, do you think I did okay? And I was like, if you're talking to somebody who's spurging out, all you have to do is not spurg, and you're fine.
Yeah. I don't like Kevin. Kevin's a fucking liar. But yeah, all he had to do there was not do what Jeff was doing, and he did it. He just let Jeff hang himself. That was such a bad stream. Oh my god.
And I'm sorry, I don't mean to shit on your friends, Mikey. I know you talk to these people, but
I've said it many times on stream. Jeff, do not drunk stream anymore. Stop it. It never goes well.
No, it's not his strong suit. But the part that got Peter almost says congrats on 10K. The part that got me was when he's screaming about eating his wife's pussy and his kids in the background.
Yeah, yeah. No, Kevin just came out of the woodwork. Me and him haven't had any words in a long, long time. But you know, Stalker Chick.
Oh, he likes her.
Stalker Chick, that's where she comes from. Is from Christy Winter's crew.
Uh-oh.
She is actually a hanger-on of Danny Quartz of all people. And that's true. She's a Danny groupie.
The autism, it just has its own gravitational pull.
The other day, Sinatra, she kept trying to go at me, and I just kept making stalker jokes because that's all I do to this bitch. I don't know why she even engages me. And yeah, out of nowhere, suddenly Kevin popped up. I'm like, go away, dick. Fuck off. I do not care what you think. Oh, yeah, I love when Stalker Chick pops up. I don't understand why I'm the only one she won't block, though.
She loves you.
Dude, just do what I did. Do what I did. Make fun of her for being a vegan atheist witch, and she'll block you.
No, dude, all I do is make fucking stalker jokes at her. I do this. I don't know if you know the history. It's not just started like more than a year ago. This is true. Danny Quartz made a video about Undoomed. He responded to an Undoomed video, and me and Undoomed had made a response to the same thing. And Danny came on there and said that that we had both made it, but I was irrelevant, so he was gonna go with Undoomed. And then in the comments to that, Stalker Chick, she made a comment, something to the effect that the problem with me and Undoomed is we didn't get laid in high school. And I was like, why are you thinking about my dick? And that's where it all started, is me. And yeah, every so often I will mention that she needs to stop thinking about my crotch because it's funny. I refuse to say anything else to her.
Have you ever seen a picture of her?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
She is a fat mess.
She's made a response video to me, dude. I didn't watch it, but she made a response video to me. You can check out. Stargaze says, I don't know who Danny is. Oh, God, Danny. Danny is...
Dude, you know who made a response video to me the other day that I haven't seen yet? Is War Corp 666.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
He's still around?
I was like, oh shit, I know this guy by reputation alone. I'll get to that eventually.
Why did he make one to you? I thought he was...
I think it's when I started talking about how what was it? Lolicon, it's okay to ban that on a website.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, yeah, this is pretty much child porn. I mean, it technically is free speech, but I'm willing to concede Lolicon. You know, I'm not going to die on that hill. And he made a big response video to me talking about it.
Here you go. Nuts. I think that's the right one. And that's part one, and that's part two. He's the only person I've ever made a 2-part response to. Because I was just having so much fun making fun of this motherfucker.
Danny.
Danny, yeah.
Yeah.
He's such a moron. He's the one who went to fuck, I forget the name of him. When Bering had his cartoon bear and they turned him in to the owners of it. Was it Total Drama Island, whatever it was?
Yeah.
Yeah, Danny was the one who went running to them. Do you know he's using your avatar? And look, yes, Bering was wrong for doing that, but once again, they didn't do that because they actually give a fuck about copyright. They did that to try to shut him down.
It was their ultimate gotcha, if you remember.
It was. And then he came back. He came back and they were all like, why won't you die?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Holy shit, it's fucking cold.
Danny actually led me to one of my favorite comments I've ever made in a video when I asked him how many licks it takes to get to the center of a window.
I like that.
It's one of the only jokes I ever remember making, but that one. Yes, I find myself funny, guys, and streamers need to learn about copyright. Every time somebody gets knocked out for it, I shake my head. Not just streamers. All YouTubers need to learn about copyright, and that goes both ways. Who was it? I was watching one of Medicare's old videos where it was where he got struck for copyright by some bitch who he used a picture of hers. This was back in the Hugbox Chronicles, and she reported him for copyright. Like that's not a copyright violation if he was using it to comment on it.
Not only that, but you get copyright claimed for 2-3 seconds, things that fall well under fair use. Or you get like what happened to me, where you get some shithead at Opie Radio who claims one of your videos and steals like $250 in AdSense from you, even though Opie doesn't own Fox News. Opie doesn't own Patrice O'Neal's likeness, but he still took all the money.
Yeah. That was from Patrice being on Opie and Anthony, right?
No, from him being on Fox News.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I remember. Because you used the Fox News clip, but he used to be on Opie and Anthony a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck Opie.
I mean, I'm definitely going to tweet it now, so if you guys want to retweet the tweet.
Yeah.
Woof.
Happy to.
Woof.
Bear, what's the weather like over there, man?
Snow.
Just a little bit of snow?
Fucking woof. Snow.
So I tweeted it and I tagged him in it. I also called into Compound Media and started talking about that on with Anthony and Dave Landau.
Yeah. Excuse me. Copyright is definitely something, if you're going to do this, unless the only thing you're doing is talking yourself, you need to know what you're talking about. Did you guys see the person that was talking back and forth with YouTube the other day because they haven't gotten monetized? And YouTube actually told them that they have too much third-party content on in their videos.
Wait, who said that?
YouTube. It was
what?
YouTube creators. Real quick, thank you. Mona Lovejoy just subscribed. Thank you.
Oh, Mona, she's a regular in my chats. Hey, Mona.
Yeah, he was asking about it. Like, look, why don't I have this? Months ago, you guys said you would look into this and fix it. And the person he was talking to, it was under the YouTube creator handle. I said, well, looking at this, it looks like there's a lot of third-party content on your site. And he goes, we talk about the news. And because he reads articles or talks about videos, yeah, they're like, that's third-party content. I was like, wow, that's bullshit. It's not third-party. They're getting weird about it, and I wonder how much that has to do with Article 13. Because Article 13 is going to fuck everybody if it goes through eventually. It's 4 Celsius with a bit of snow on the ground. 4. We're minus 23 here. Fuck off.
Provided Article 13 is re-amended and put back to European Parliament. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, YouTube is acting weird, and I don't know if the YouTube creator that was behind the desk that day just doesn't understand copyright themselves. But especially here in the U.S., man, we're allowed. They even pointed out, like, look, if this is against copyright, then pretty much everything CNN does should be. Because CNN, they talk about videos all the time, and they show those videos.
Mm-hmm.
Minus 35 here, monkey. Fuck that.
If Article 13 goes through, I mean, a lot of these companies are just going to have to pull their access to people in Europe.
Yeah.
Google has made the threat about just pulling out of Europe.
And it's what they'd have to do. Whatever happened with Article 11?
That also went away as well.
Yeah, I noticed that one just kind of disappeared.
Article 11 would hurt a lot of online businesses. That's why.
Yeah. Eric Peter says, third-party content, what will Tim Pool do now? Yeah, I tried watching the Tim Pool video for the first time in forever yesterday, and I'm like, I don't care. I watched. He seems to kind of be trying to do what Styx does. He records them. He makes these like 10-minute videos, and he make like 3 or 4 of them a day.
Sorry, I was doing something else. Who were we talking about?
Tim Pool.
Mm.
And
stream of consciousness kind of.
Shelly really likes his content. I can't really get into it because he's a super big fence sitter bear. And but I do love Styx's content. Red Elephants kind of does the same thing too.
Real quick, thank you, Jar Jar Binks. Well, YouTube, they wanted socialism. Karma's a bitch. Yeah, I get what you're saying there. I can watch Styx talk. He keeps it moving without too many pauses or repeating what he said already.
Tim repeats himself a lot.
He does.
Styx makes jokes as he goes along as well, doesn't he?
And he has such a dry sense of humor.
Yeah.
His sense of humor makes mine look moist.
He's the only YouTuber that I can prove actually has a drink in his cup as he's drinking from it.
Yeah. Fence sitter, he's a fucking lefty. Yeah, Tim Pool's a lefty. And I still have a problem with him from that fucking hate speech is a thing. I want to slap that shit out of him.
Just take his hat off, he'll lose all of his power.
Wait, did he really say that?
Yes.
Can I have a link to this?
Oh God, it was in the that'll be hard to find, but I will find it for you. He said it in a live stream about Sargon.
I thought he might have just done a whole video on it.
Well, he did do a video not that long ago where he was saying about his progressive values.
Let me see if I can find it and see how long it is. If you're interested in even watching.
Silverman knows what's up. He's like, Sinatra about to make a video.
I can give Tim kind of a pass though, because as a lefty, he's not bad.
He's not. It's just the problem that when he says shit like that. Sinatra, I think this is an 1.5-hour stream. If this is the one I'm thinking of, it's in here.
Never mind.
But he's talking about Sargon getting kicked off Patreon. And in there, he actually says, hate speech is a thing. And I'm like, no, it's not, Tim. You're in the U.S. Our Supreme Court already told us that. It's not a thing. Stop it.
It's not a legal thing, no.
Tim said police should be unarmed in last couple of videos. What?
Wow, he's chock full of some hot takes, isn't he?
Oh, he's a lefty, man. Yeah. He happens to occasionally, like on the Patreon thing, even though he's saying, hate speech is a thing, he was still standing up for Sargon in that. So he comes off on the right side, but he's still part of it. I don't understand how he makes that leap. I mean,
if I ever get around to making another content detective,
yeah,
I got work to do.
Yeah, and there's hate speech is free speech. Hate speech isn't a fucking thing.
I did start making one, but I scrapped the whole thing because I thought it was strike bait. It was on ContraPoints.
Oh yeah,
and I found a video of when before ContraPoint was twans, and just pretending to be a girl. And I'm like, dude, this is gonna get struck so quickly. So I just kind of scrapped the whole thing. Maybe I'll put it just up on BitChute or something.
Guys, I'm gonna try to get back to sleep here in a few minutes. So we're gonna wrap this up. Chat, guys, thank you so much for coming, hanging out. Thanks for the super chats and the Streamlabs. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate that. And thank you for supporting creators, because YouTube fucks us. But
without any lube, no, not even prison lube, no spit on the dick, nothing,
just dry ram.
Rippy ram, kind of like Terry. YouTube's headquarters is known as Ram Ranch.
Oh my
Thanks
God.
for that mental image.
Thank you for that. Yes. Don't forget to check out Tailed's channel, Tailed Feature. He's not here right now, so I'm gonna pimp him out. But fellas, it's shill time. Bear, is there anything you'd like to shill?
I did an anime video yesterday.
On which channel?
Oh, cool.
Right, Alex. I put out a video later on our there as well. Nice ranty rant.
Sinatra, anything you'd like to show?
I'm trying to get over a cold. I'm gonna try to get a new narration out tonight. So that's about it. It's Creeps In. Go look up Creeps In.
What both of them meant to say is don't forget to check out Ghost Poo at 5:30 p.m. Eastern time.
Oh yeah,
on Drunkle's channel.
Oh, yeah,
Drunkle's
that
channel. Hammer, anything you'd like to show?
I'm broadcasting tomorrow on the Minions. Stop by and give me a hard time.
That is Minions at the Zoo at 11:30 p.m. Eastern time. You guys don't shill very well.
No, I don't.
As for me, tonight will be on my channel at 9 p.m. Eastern time for Lords of the Night. After that, we'll be over on 2 Cents Plus playing 7 Days to Die with the audience. If you want to come hang out with us, the information to get in is in the Discord. Anything else? Oh, it has to be on PC. We don't have it on. We play on PC, not on PS4. So, with that, I would like to thank Tailed, Bear, Sinatra, and Hammer for joining me. Everyone, we will see you next time.
Good night, everybody.
Bye-bye.